So, before we go into today's video, I need to do two things. First thing, thank you so much for the support that I received during the past 5 days, because this channel is like 5 days old at this point, and it really means a lot. And the second thing that I need to do is to make some corrections, because if you watch yesterday's video about the Exerges, there's a couple of issues with it. Honest mistakes, unlike the supposed mistakes with the Tigris video. So the first thing is that this weapon has infinite punch through, and I didn't know. And I didn't know because it clearly states here that this gun has half a meter of punch through, but this is false because Digital Extremes doesn't like to communicate stuff good. So this means this has a half a meter of punch through terrain and also through enemies, but that is used for the terrain because just as with the Foreman, this has infinite punch through enemies, so you can just drop Seeking Fury and add more damage, which is good. It's very good and very funny, and it makes this build even better. Because yeah, like every single one of them got hit, as you can see. No Seeking Fury, no nothing. Infinite punch through. Beautiful. That was the first mistake. The other mistake, though, was that I absolutely forgot that they changed the weighting on the base damages of guns. So, back in the day, you could have 100 viral and 25 slash, and the slash was just as likely to proc as the viral, because base damages, physical damages, were 4 times more likely to proc. But nowadays, that is not the case anymore. That is not the case anymore. So, just because pure Divine Providence wants to prove that point, this was the second roll of my Riven. We don't need the critical damage, but weapon recoil makes the Exerges feel even better because it makes it feel more powerful with that recoil. And 124 slash and 100% status duration, so those slashes last longer. Yeah. So now we have this weighting. We have primarily slash, then viral, and then hit. I would like it to be slash, then hit, then viral, because we only need 1 or 2 viral procs for it to be a monster. So I may try to reroll this until I go bold, and maybe we'll get the perfect build then. I don't know, I'm not sure. But yeah, this could be better. This could be even better, which it sounds fun. It sounds fun because look at this shit. Remember these enemies, these non-existent enemies from yesterday. Okay, let's just activate our Arcane. Arcane is now working and fully operational, and this is what it does to them. Yeah, it does that. It absolutely can do that. Now the Exerges is even better. So I stand corrected. The Exerges was good yesterday, and today is even better. So yeah, now that I've done all the apologies, let's go into today's matter, which is Yareli. And Yareli is not very good. It's not very good. However, I love her really much, because she has a lot of properties that I can enjoy in this game. She's small, cute, and funny looking, which makes her absolutely hilarious with a big gun. But also really cute with a small gun, because this is the Plinks, and the Plinks is one of my favorite secondaries in the game, because it's a small, polished, and comfortable to use gun to plink stuff with, as the name implies. But the Tenet Plinks also has a secondary property, which is just found in the Tenet Plinks, which is this. It can shoot a big fuck-off explosion. The problem with that explosion is that the Tenet Plinks is a purely critical gun. So the status, even with this build, is trash. And I've tried to make it work with status, using galvanized shot and using more primarily status-focused mods. so I could get some use out of the magnetic that I got in my tenant plinks. So I was able to do a consistent damage with the galvanized shot, but it didn't work very good. So I just had to eat my pride and make a purely critical build. But this gun is really fun with Yareli, for some reasons that you will see. This video is called Shooting Gallery Yareli, and what is the reason? It's not because Shooting Gallery. Yeah, I have Shooting Gallery with her, but that is honestly just for the memes. It's a damage buff and it's a survivability buff, because you deactivate enemy weapons so they cannot shoot at you, and then you do more damage, and also one of your mates will also do more damage, which it's kind of nice. And it lasts for a long while, because whenever you use Morelina, which is the reason to use Yareli in the first place, you cannot use infused abilities. So it's kind of cool that you can just use Shooting Gallery and then forget about it for 45 seconds and get Morelina and still have the buff. That's how it works. But bro, I still don't know what this build is about. This build is about stacking multipliers. So the first multiplier that we will get really comfortable with is a secondary deathhead, which allows us to stack a lot of damage whenever we kill people in the head, and gives us a 30% headshot multiplier. And a lot of people just use Merciless, because in a lot of other guns it's easier to maintain. Because let's say you use a Cuba Nuke, or you can just kill a lot of stuff with it, because it kills really good. But the plinks with the main fire doesn't kill very good, and it's really hard to maintain. Also, it would be really hard to maintain with the alternate fire, because it takes a long time to reload, so you'll just lose the buff. With this thing, you won't lose the buff. And we stack this multiplier with the funny things that Yareli can do. We stack that shit with Shooting Gallery, first of all. We stack that with the damage vulnerability that is applied to the enemies with your one, which, by the way, are stuck on the air waiting for you to headshot them. Kind of like targets in a Shooting Gallery, if you will, if you must. And also, Marina Guardian gives us a lot of reload speed and fire rate on secondary weapons whenever we heal Merolina, killing enemies with a secondary weapon, which will also be really useful. And Arcane Pistolier gives us the chance to have literally infinite ammo. So we either have infinite ammo and we can just shoot the main shot of the pistol with no problem, or we get almost instant reloads because of Marina Guardian. And just in case you're wondering, no, Arcane Pistolier does not work on the secondary fire. And it's a shame. It's a shame, I know. But it doesn't. But it's still really fun. And, of course, Yareli's passive, which on a critical pistol that already has stupid amounts of crit, gives us even more crit. And this, of course, can stack with galvanized crosshairs, which is also about doing headshots. And now I think that you understand why I call this Shooting Gallery Yareli, because this thing it's all about doing headshots. This build is all about plinking. And what is the purpose of doing this much work? This much work is to activate all of our buffs. The secondary Deathhead buff, the Galvanized Diffusion buff, the Galvanized Crosshairs buff, every single buff. We stack every single one whenever we kill like 4 or 5 enemies with this dynamic, and then we shoot the big shot. And they all die. And that is the build. Like that is the build. You can just add whatever else here. Just add whatever you're comfortable with. I use this build because it makes it really easy to survive on the steel path. and it doesn't have a lot of compromises. Like, it has a pretty decent amount of everything, and I truly think that's what Yareli needs. She doesn't have any aspect to her that is much better than the rest. Like, she cannot wave clear with her ult unless it's really low level, so there's no reason to have much more strength. But the range isn't that crazy also, so 160 range is more than enough. So yeah, it's just an all-rounder build that allows us to do this playstyle. So let me show you that playstyle. Let's add some reasonable enemies, because if we add chain gunners, this build is not gonna work. This is just a fun build. This is a fun build that I like to use in open worlds. Because in open worlds, you don't get stuck on everything with Merolina. That's the main reason. So let's unpause the AI. So we use shooting gallery, get on Merolina, create our shooting gallery, and we start to stack multipliers. Okay, and now we get our big reward. Yep, that is the build. There's nothing else to see here. That is the reason why I use Yareli with the plings, because it kind of works together. Like, it kind of fits. It's not the most powerful thing that you can do, because the most powerful thing that you could do would to just use a better secondary, which would probably be the Latum. And I've not tried the Latum with Yareli, but I'm not in a hurry to do so. But yeah, it's just a playstyle that makes sense. Every single element works together to make something different that you might enjoy. But because I don't want you to leave it just like here, let me just show you some more funny stuff. Because as we have explained, you can get infinite ammo with Arcane Pistolier, and we can get this much reload speed and fire rate, and we also get a fuck ton of crits. So let me show you budget Mesa. Let me show you budget Mesa. Here they are. So these are my Cuba Twins tubas, and they do a lot of throwing let down range by themselves. So if you wanna just play Mesa on a K drive, budget Mesa on a K drive, that's another option. I need to get Merolina hurt so I can heal Merolina so I can activate the buff. So please hit me. I need someone to hit me really hard. Oh, fucking hell. Shooting guard is interfering. Hit me. Okay, now we can do that. Yeah. Budget Mesa. So, that's Yareli. Yareli is just a simple, kind of gimmicky frame that you can have a lot of fun with using in open worlds, and whenever I use her, the Plings or the Cuba Twins tubas is what I use with her with this config. So I hope that was at least slightly amusing, and maybe together we'll be able to play Yareli more between all of us, and maybe they already reward her, but some buffs would be reasonable to get, I think. That will be all for today, and I don't know if I will be able to upload anything till after New Year's Eve, because, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of party down here. Have a nice one, and thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.